we knew, you know, based off of the way that they play, their safeties are very active in the run game. They play very low, and you know, based off of that, we knew we'd have to be effective in the pass game to make sure that we can keep them honest.
Was it almost the same conditions you guys faced last week too with the wind? Was it similar in any way?
Yeah, not as much rain, but the wind definitely played a factor in that. You know, you could probably see it on the kickoffs when, you know, kicks with the wind or going to the end zone, kicks against it are getting like hung up at the 20. So, you know, you just got to make sure that you're being smart when you're playing into the wind.
Did that help you going through that last week, that you were so effective this week, especially in the second quarter?
I think so. I think, you know, we got to understand in the Big Ten we're not going to play in great conditions, especially in November. So we just got to be ready for, you know, whatever the conditions are. And in this case, you know, it was a little windy, a little cool, but you know, for November 8th, it's not bad. So.
This thing made the difference though for the
I thought the guys were doing a great job getting open. You know, and then we just taking what they're giving us. We did a great job protecting up front, and you know, I had time to stand back there and, you know, really see the field. And when we can do that and get open, I think it's going to be a very effective pass offense.
How big was that second quarter for you guys? Just getting some momentum going into halftime.
That was big, especially that 2-minute drive there at the end of the half. You know, to get us down there and eventually end it with a touchdown, put us up 24-6 going into half, knowing that we're coming out with the ball, really, you know, did a lot for the momentum going into halftime.
Joel, it seemed like you and Tanner rotated mid-series. How did you think that went?
I thought it worked all right. You know, I think, like I've always said, there's things that we both do really well. So in certain situations, they'd like to get him in there, they'd like to keep me in there. So I thought it worked out pretty well. I thought we were able to, you know, instead of it being like, here's Tanner's series, here's Joel's series, you can kind of stay more into it when you're running off the field, one play, all right, back on the field. You know, it's almost just like you're running back or something, and how Corey will come out and Melvin will leave, stuff like that.
Is this the best you felt about the quarterback play, you know, out of the game in the last month?
Yeah, I thought we did a good job, you know, from my standpoint, from his standpoint, really throwing the ball, running the ball, being effective as a balanced offense. We weren't, you know, so heavily reliant on the run this game. Even with not necessarily the greatest conditions, we were able to stay balanced and really move the ball. Yeah, I thought, you know, I was really happy with the way the 2-minute drive went. You know, being able to find a couple completions early, and again, just taking what they give us. When they're dropping everyone deep, we check it down to Melvin, he'll run for 10 yards for you. You know, that's good offense, that's good football. So, you know, I think we did a really good job in the second quarter, being efficient in the pass game, and being able to land a couple of those, not necessarily shots way down the field, but a couple of play action passes that go for 20 to 25 yards, which really are, you know, great chunk plays for us. For the most part, I thought they did a really good job of pass protection. For the most part, there was a couple of times there in the third quarter they brought kind of a tricky blitz that we were able to pick up. But for the most part, I thought we did a really good job of pass protection, especially on third down. There was a couple of times where I remember the one in the series before the 2-minute drive where I stood in there for, it felt like, probably 5 seconds before I was able to find Jordan coming across the middle. And when you can do that and standing there for so long, guys are bound to get open.
Was that like a 3rd and 11, the one that Jordan you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. You had 2 big third and long conversions on that drive, and that's something that has killed you guys all year. Do you hope that starts something?
Yeah, I think that's somewhere where, you know, we put a lot of emphasis in it after the Rutgers game where we, you know, we're getting into those 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9s, and we just aren't converting. We got to make sure that, you know, to win games and score points, you got to convert on 3rd down, because you can't always play ahead of the change as much as you like to. That's not always going to be the case. So I thought we did a good job when we were in those situations, getting ourselves out of them. You know, I thought we didn't play as well as an offense after halftime. We weren't as effective in the run game. The throw game wasn't as effective either. But again, we were able to convert a couple 3rd downs and keep the drives going. Didn't come away with as many points as you'd like, especially with the good field position that we were getting. But, you know, a win's a win. So.